Welcome to Stats Madness. I'm Jamie Allen, and today, Frank Hardy joins us to break down the exhilarating 3-3 draw between Everton and Manchester City. With Everton now at 10th place and City holding second, let's start with Frank's insights on this thrilling match. Frank, that 3-3 scoreline was quite something, but how did the underlying stats tell the story?
Absolutely, Jamie. Despite the draw, City dominated possession with 75% compared to Everton's 25%. However, Everton excelled creatively, generating 3 big chances to City's 1. Everton also had more shots on target, 6 versus City's 4, yet City led in total shots 20-14, a fascinating contrast in styles.
Frank, City and Everton showed contrasting styles, but how did City's category performance stand out?
Jamie, Manchester City held a significant edge in possession, controlling 66% compared to Everton's 35%, a 31% difference. In attack, they maintained a 75.3 to 56.5 advantage, marking a 14% superiority. Defensively, City was also stronger, with a 57.2 versus 52.0 edge, a 5% margin. These pillars underscore City's overall dominance.
Frank, City's category performance was impressive, but in terms of tactical execution, how did their attacking stats compare to Everton's?
Jamie, Manchester City had an attacking edge with 12 goal attempts compared to Everton's 8. Additionally, they led with 12 shots inside the box, while Everton managed 10. This highlights City's aggressive approach in the final third.
Wait, really? And despite that, did Everton manage to outperform City in any specific attacking areas?
Interestingly, Everton had more shots on target, leading 6 to City's 4, and they created 3 big chances compared to City's 1. This shows Everton's efficiency, despite having fewer attempts overall.
Frank, considering Everton's efficiency, how did the momentum shift in City's favour through the intervals?
Jamie, Manchester City dominated early with 80.2% possession in the 0-15 interval, completing 119 successful passes. They surged again in the 15-30 window, maintaining possession at 83.2% and firing 7 shots. City's 75-90 interval was crucial, with 9 total crosses and 5 shots, culminating in goals from Erling Haaland and Jeremy Doku. This consistent pressure and tactical execution reflected their overall control.
Wow, City's momentum was impressive. Now Frank, how does Everton's performance today compare to their season averages?
Jamie, Everton excelled in several areas today. They had 8 blocks, doubling their season average of 4.38. Their successful crosses percentage hit 42.9%, up from 22.6%. Tackles rose to 24 from 18.38, while shots on target improved to 6 from 3.68. They also created 3 big chances, above their 1.82 average, and took 10 shots inside the box versus 7.56 typically.
Everton's defensive boost was clear. But Frank, how do they stand in the league overall right now?
Jamie, Everton's identity is a mixed bag. They excel in blocks, ranking top 10% with 8 today. However, they struggle with ball possession, sitting in the bottom 16% at just 25% today. Their shot total was an atypical strength with 14, surpassing their season average of 11.03.
So, they're both excelling and lagging? What's the most surprising stat here?
Indeed, Jamie. Big chances created is intriguing. Despite being in the bottom 32% league-wide, they recorded 3 today, which is above their season average of 1.82.
Despite being a mixed bag overall, how does Everton stack up against their mid-8 peers this season?
Jamie, Everton lags in ball possession with 25%, trailing Chelsea and Brighton's 52.04% average. For long passes, they align with Sunderland and Leeds at 45.0. Big chances created sees them behind Brentford's 2.57 average. Lastly, their 14 shots total is below Chelsea's 12.54. Overall, they're struggling to match their peers in key areas.
After comparing Everton to their peers, let's shift gears. How does Manchester City fare against their own season average?
Jamie, Manchester City exceeded expectations with 75% ball possession, season AVG 60.21, 20 shots total, AVG 15.24, and 6 blocks, AVG 2.82. They also improved in goal attempts, 12, AVG 9.79, and saves, 3, AVG 2.42. Additionally, their 12 shots inside box surpassed their usual 11.21. It's an upward trend across key metrics.
So, Manchester City outperformed their averages, but how do they rank in league standings based on key stats?
Jamie, Manchester City's ball possession at 75% and successful passes at 5.51 both place them in the top 0% league-wide. They're elite in these areas.
Wait, really? But what about their big chances created today?
Interestingly, they only managed to create 1 big chance, which is below their season average of 3.24. This was an unusual dip for them.
After ranking high in league standings, how does Manchester City compare to their top 6 peers overall?
Manchester City shines in big chances created, averaging 3.24 compared to peers like Arsenal's 3.09. They dominate in ball possession at 60.21%, ahead of Liverpool and Arsenal. Additionally, they lead in shots total, averaging 15.24 over Arsenal's 14.51. However, their long passes at 38.64 need improvement to match AFC Bournemouth's 53.14. Their performance is elite, but there's room for growth.
So while Manchester City leads in key metrics, let's zero in on their standout player ratings. Who's making waves on the field?
Jeremy Doku is the star, dominating the forward line with a 9.2 rating, showcasing his threat across the pitch. Erling Haaland follows with a solid 7.13, keeping the unit organised. Ryan Cherki also impresses with a 7.11. In the midfield, James Garner leads with a 6.98, though he faced challenges. Defensively, Abdulkadir Kusanov tops with a 6.97, showing calmness despite unit inconsistencies.
We just highlighted player ratings, but let's focus on Jeremy Doku's recent performances. How does he stack up against his own averages?
Jeremy Doku has been exceptional. His rating hit 9.2, way above his season average of 7.17. He also achieved a personal best of 85 touches, nearly doubling his 44.38 average. In terms of chances created, he recorded 4.0 compared to his usual 2.71, and his successful dribbles soared to 5.0 from 3.04.
We saw Doku outperform his own stats, but how does he compare to the league's wingers overall?
Jeremy Doku is a standout. His 9.2 rating places him in the top 2% among wingers, well above the league average of 6.77. In chances created, he's also top 2%, with 4 per game versus a 1.65 average. His shots on target, at 2 per game, put him in the top 2%, and with 5 successful dribbles, he's in the top 1%, compared to the league's 1.6 average.
With Doku's league standing clear, how does he fare against his positional peers in terms of key stats?
Jeremy Doku leads his peers with an average of 1.33 goals per game, surpassing Bukayo Saka's 1.0. In chances created, he's also at the pinnacle, averaging 2.71 compared to Saka's 2.23. Doku's shots on target stand at 1.62 per game, edging out Cody Gakpo's 1.37. These metrics highlight his exceptional performance and consistency, marking him as a top winger.
Considering how Thierno Barry stands out among his peers, how does he compare to his own season averages?
Thierno Barry delivered a masterclass in goals, registering 2.0, well above his 1.14 seasonal average. His rating also shined at 8.21 compared to the usual 6.64. In shots on target, Barry was sharp, recording 2.0 above the 1.4 norm. Lastly, his shots total was consistent at 2.0, aligning with his 1.95 average.
So, while Thierno Barry's recent game was stellar compared to his averages, how does he stack up against league standards?
Barry's goals are in the bottom 46% for strikers, with a season average of 1.14, below the 1.16 league benchmark. On shots total, he ranks in the bottom 41%, with a season average of 1.9 against a league average of 2.08. Interestingly, he's in the top 50% for aerials won, a notable achievement given the league's 0 benchmark.
We've seen how Barry compares to league standards, but how does Mateo Kovacic measure against his own averages this season?
Mateo Kovacic maintains a steady performance with a 7.43 rating, slightly above his 6.98 average. His key passes are consistent at 3.0, matching his average. Ball recovery is also stable at 2.0. However, he shines in passes in final third, delivering 4.0, surpassing his typical 2.67, showcasing a stronger offensive presence.
Mateo Kovacic is exceeding his own averages, but how does he rank compared to league benchmarks?
Mateo Kovacic stands out in key passes, ranking in the top 1% with an average of 3.0 versus the league norm of 1.49. In accurate passes percentage, he shines again, being in the top 2% with 95% compared to a league average of 82.27%. However, his ball recovery is a concern, sitting in the bottom 12% with 2.0, below the 3.37 league benchmark.
So, we see Mateo Kovacic's league standing, but how does Erling Haaland's performance stack up against his own season average?
Erling Haaland's current stats show a dip compared to his season averages. His goals per game are at 1.0, falling short of the 1.39 season average. Additionally, his total shots have dropped to 2.0 from 3.69, and shots on target are down to 1.0 compared to 2.0. These below-average figures highlight areas where Haaland might need to step up to meet his usual standards.
So, considering Erling Haaland's dip, how does Ryan Cherki's performance compare to his own season averages?
Ryan Cherki's rating of 7.11 is slightly below his 7.33 average, yet remains consistent. However, his assists, key passes, and chances created all fall short, with 1.0, 2.0, and 2.0 compared to averages of 1.38, 2.46, and 2.67 respectively. Successful dribbles also see a drop to 2.0 from 2.56. Despite these dips, his rating remains strong amidst these fluctuations.
Reflecting on Cherki's season, today's 3-3 draw showcased contrasting tactical approaches. Manchester City's 75% possession was pivotal. Thanks, Frank Hardy, for your insights, and thank you viewers for joining us on Stats Madness. Until next time, keep loving the game.